I came across an article last week that I can't stop thinking about. Over the past couple of months, as an increasing amount of new content regarding The Last of Us Part 2 has been released, Naughty Dog has garnered both praise and criticism for its portrayal of female characters. Many applaud the studio for its lack of sexualization, while others dislike the quote-unquote Naughty Dog agenda. Among the reasons for this so-called agenda is the defeminization of female characters. But what exactly does that mean? And how does it relate to the world of The Last of Us? Well, I think one thing the article I can't stop thinking about got right is that femininity is not a priority in Part 2. Naughty Dog made female characters less feminine to be trans-friendly. An article by SausageRoll. If there's any way to grab the attention of casual browsers, it's definitely a controversial headline. I clicked pretty fast, I'll admit, and what I read was about what I expected to read. The title is immediately followed with the claim that every female character in the game was made to look less feminine and more androgynous, allegedly not to offend trans women. For now, I'd like to focus on the first part of that statement, the part that claims that every female character is made to look less feminine. They chose a number of examples that bothered me, such as this comparison between Dina and her character model. They also compared different photos of Ellie from the promotional material. These comparisons astounded me, and they still do. In the first one I mentioned, I initially thought that the clothing was being compared. However, I've come to realize the images are comparing breast size. Pushing aside the creepiness of it, the comparison is not very credible either. Now, I'm going to keep my rebuttal short because it is not the main topic of the video. One, the reason I didn't realize what they were comparing initially is because it looks like Dina is wearing a sports bra or a wrap of some sort, and I stand by that statement wholeheartedly. If you don't know how they work, please look it up. Two, the camera in the right photo is slightly closer. Even if those are hard to believe, Dina lives in an apocalyptic world with a scarcity of food and an environment that demands physical excellence. She's clearly more muscular and would have less fat, and believe it or not, breasts are composed of 75% fat cells. Guess what would happen to them when you lose weight? As for the Ellie comparisons, these are arguably more flawed than the previous images. First of all, the before and after labels are completely false and framed in a way to support the purpose of the article. The top left photo was released well after the top right, and it is set later in the game. The bottom two are both promotional photos that came out at a similar time. They aren't comparing before and after. They are comparing Ellie's facial expressions and hairstyles. They are undermining Ellie's story and emotional turmoil because it makes her less feminine. What I found to be most flabbergasting about these comparisons is not the fact that they are grasping at straws, but rather the implication that boob size determines a woman's femininity. The implication that women, no, not just women, a protagonist should be limited in her emotional expression in a story that is driven by its core relationships and character development. Now let's talk about the mystery woman. Yes, her. The character is who the article states is allegedly transgender, keyword being allegedly. The article cites 4chan as their source that the character is trans. However, those leaks have been completely debunked after they contradicted the gameplay footage that was leaked. The rumor that this character is trans is weaponized in this article in what I found to be a very disgusting way. It is the basis of their argument. The author villainizes trans women and the greater LGBT plus community. It is saying women are less feminine and these are the people to blame. The thing about this character, though, is that these rumors arose entirely because of her appearance. It doesn't matter that the character is modeled after a woman named Colleen Foch, who competes physically at a professional level. They arose because a muscular woman, in the minds of those who agree with this article, is the embodiment of this defeminization. But that's not all. These people who wrote this article, who agree with this article, their definition of what it is to be a woman is determined by things like breast size. It is determined by how she wears her hair. It is determined by her anger or her sensitivity. It is determined by her physique. To them, being feminine and being a woman is interchangeable. To them, one is required for the other to be true, regardless of the story, regardless of who the characters are, and regardless of the world they live in. And that's how it relates to the world of The Last of Us. Femininity is not a priority in The Last of Us Part 2 because it doesn't exist in a world where society has collapsed. Those things that they say determine what it is to be feminine, they are not a priority when you are a survivor. Ellie is angry because someone has hurt her. She wears her hair up because she's fighting for her life. Dina wears a sports bra because she needs to run and climb to escape threats. And Mystery Woman? I assure you, as someone who has seen the leaks, that her muscles are in character for her. And finally, in that world, there's no purpose or social expectation that is being pushed, like in this article, to be feminine. The problem is that these people are using how feminine someone is as a measure of womanhood. It is not. Ellie, Dina, Mystery Woman, they're not feminine by our society's standards, and it would be absolutely unrealistic if they were. But that does not make them any less of a woman. Overall, this article is riddled with false information, such as the 4chan leaks, as well as stating that the leaks came about by a pay dispute, which was not the case. I have linked it in the description if you want to look for yourself, although if you're looking to preserve some brain cells, I'd advise against it. Keep in mind it has some minor and implied spoilers. If you need more content, I have linked a good summary video of what we learned from the first impressions, the official cinematic trailer, and every part of Inside the Game, as well as my Twitter. Thanks for watching, and let me know what else you'd like to hear about.